Hello everyone. Welcome to this video for PM Pre-Read 3. In this video, we will discuss about the environment in which projects operate, the enterprise and environmental factors, the organizational process assets, and the organizational systems. So the environment in which the projects operate, they are basically conditions that are not under the control of the project management team. And therefore, the enterprise environmental factors could be either internal or external to the organization. And as they are often inputs to most of the planning processes. Now, there are two types of EEFs, the short form for enterprise environmental factors. First is internal EEFs. They could be organization culture, the organization structure, the resources, how they are physically distributed, the infrastructure, the resource availability, the employee performance and their capability, and the organizational culture, which is considered as an enterprise environmental factors, as already mentioned. Now, external EEFs could be marketplace conditions, social and structure, social and culture influence, legal restrictions, they could be commercial, and they could be government standards. Then let's look at organization process assets, or OPAs. They are the plans, processes, policies, procedures, and knowledge bases. And they are inputs to most of the planning processes. They can be grouped into two categories: processes, policies, and procedures, and organizational knowledge bases. Now, under policies, processes, and procedures, we have initiating and planning, we have executing, monitoring and control, and closing. Under the organizational knowledge bases, we have configuration management knowledge bases, the financial databases, the historical information and lessons learned, issue and defect management databases, the data repositories, and the project files from previous projects. Now let's look at organizational systems. What are they? So projects operate within constraints imposed by the organization through their structure and governance framework. The project managers need to understand where the responsibilities, accountability, and authority reside within the organization, because this understanding will help them to effectively use their power, influence, competence, and leadership. So the organizational system includes many factors, and the most important of them are management elements, governance frameworks, and organizational structure types. Now let's understand about organization's governance framework. Governance refers to the organizational or structure arrangements at all levels of an organization. It is designed to determine and influence the behavior of the organization's members. So there is no one governance framework that fits or may be applied or adapted by all organizations. Thus, tailoring becomes essential. Further on governance framework, organizational governance criteria can impose constraints on projects, especially if the project delivers a service which will be subject to strict organizational governance. So it is very important for project managers to be knowledgeable about corporate organizational governance policies and procedures. And organizations use governance to establish strategic directions and performance parameters. Project management activities should be aligned with top level business directions. And if there is a change, the project objectives need to be realigned. So, project governance is an oversight function that is aligned with the organization governance model and encompasses the project life cycle. The project governance framework provides the project manager and team with structure, processes, decision making model, and tools for managing the project. Project governance is critical element of any project that ensures its success by defining, documenting, and communicating reliable and repeatable project practices. It involves stakeholders as well as documented policies, procedures, standards, responsibilities, and authorities. The project governance approach should be described in the project management plan. Now, framework within the authority is exercised in the organization, and it includes but not limited to rules, policies, procedures, norms, relationships, systems, processes. And the framework influences how the objectives of organization are set and achieved, risk is monitored and assessed, and performance is optimized. So the governance, we looked at governance of projects. Now, governance of portfolios, programs, and also projects refers to the framework that guides the project portfolio and program activities in order to create unique service, result, product to meet organizational, strategic, and operational goals. Now, let's look at management elements. They are components that comprise the key functions or general management principles of the organization. Management elements include things such as division of work, using specialized skills and availability to perform work, authority to perform work, responsibility to perform work, discipline of action, unity of command, unity of direction, general goals of the organization, and paid fairly for the work performed. Clear communication channel, right materials to the right person for the right job at the right time. Fair and equal treatments of people in the workplace. Clear security of work positions. Open contribution to planning and execution by technical person. And lastly, but not least important, optimal morale. So after we looked at the management elements, let's look at the organization structure types. They could be organic or simple. They could be functional, mainly centralized, multi-divisional with replication for each division with little centralization. It could be a matrix structure, strong matrix. It could be a weak matrix. It could be a balanced matrix structure. It could be a project oriented structure, either composite or hybrid. It could be virtual. It could be hybrid. It could be PMO, portfolio for program or project management office or organization. So factors in the organization structure selection, how do you go about it? Now, key factors to consider in an while selecting an organization structure is degree of alignment with the organization objectives, specialization capabilities, span control efficiency and effectiveness, clear line and scope of authority, delegation capability, physical location. So now let's look at the project management office, or as it's commonly known, PMO. It's the management structure that standardizes the project related governance. It facilitates the sharing of resources, methodologies, tools, and techniques. Primary role of PMO is to support the project managers. There could be three types of PMOs: supportive, controlling, and directive. The PMO may make recommendations, lead knowledge transfer, terminate projects, or take action as required. So the PMO supports project managers by managing the shared resources, identifying and developing project management methodology, best practices, standards, coaching, mentoring, training, and coordinating the communication across the project. With this, we come to the end of this video. In the next video, which will be about the PM pre-read 4, we will be covering the role of the project manager, the project manager's sphere of influence, project manager competencies, and performing integration. Thank you.